I have the mic, I get to share the first story. And here's my intro to Neil Reeder, who I didn't travel in the same circles as Neil. I didn't know him well, but I knew him by reputation. Devilishly handsome, popular, great athlete, especially baseball. And so that's all I knew about Neil. My first introduction was senior year. I needed a few extra credits to graduate, and I took a swimming class. I already knew how to swim. I thought it was going to be an easy A, but I thought, okay, I'll just take this. So I get out there in this uncomfortably tight swimsuit, right? Okay.
Little brown Speedo.
Speedo. It was a Speedo. So I'm walking up on the deck there, and I see this guy in the distance sitting on the bench. And it was Neil. And I sat down next to him. I said, Neil, I really don't want to be here. He goes, John, look to your left. To our left, on the bench, 30 high school girls in their swimsuits. And in Will Ferrell style, the naughty, we were like, look at each other like, this is gonna be a good class. So that was my introduction to Neil. Fast forward 30 years, I'm talking to Tim Kelly.
Oh gosh.
And Tim goes, you know, you should give Neil a call. Just encouraged me to connect with Neil. We became fast friends and got a very deep relationship. And we talked often and regularly. I was overseas a lot, but we still talked. And we became very good friends. And yeah, I miss Neil. We talked about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What I learned most from Neil was about friendship. There's a verse in the Bible that says, a friend loves at all times, and like a brother is born for adversity. Neil became a brother, and through adversity, we shared each other's lives that were the highs and the lows. And I miss Neil. Grateful for his life and his friendship, though. Glad I got to know him, and I know all of you as well. So, thank you. That's what I have. So I'm going to pass the mic to anyone else, and we can just pass it around. Timmy? And anyone else you have thoughts about this task?
Do we really need a mic?
Yeah, do we have
Yes,
to have?
because it's recording and it picks it
Well,
up.
how about if we put it on the
Over to
table?
you.
Yeah, please hold on.
I thought this was going to be more of a casual, like, get together and just talk about Neil, not
We can do that too.
a formal record.
No pressure. You can stand back.
Good.
Tim,
Thank you.
you can stand back here if you want.
Right.
Stand outside the
You
door.
can stand back here if you want.
Right.
Tim, whatever you want to do.
So I didn't really come with anything other than
That's fine.
talk from the heart, and Neil was like a brother to me. And I didn't meet Neil until junior in high school when Daniel Wright played Twin Groves in basketball. And seeing Neil over in the corner making these amazing swishes, and we couldn't stop him. But thankfully we had Don Blaha, who made every shot.
Yes.
And I don't think Daniel Wright lost to Twin Groves at all.
Not true.
Oh
boy. All right.
Maybe one, but when it all came down to it,
didn't work.
I think we led well with Donnie. But back to Neil. God bless him.
Good segue.
So I met him there, but I officially met him freshman year, starting out in football with Bill Savage, who's also no longer with us. God bless Billy. Two brothers that were best of all friends, and Mark and I and the four of us ran around a lot together. So it's been interesting. It's been hard on all of us, obviously, right? But he was a dear friend of ours, and we just had a great time in high school, the four of us, along with the rest of the people. But we did have a little special bond. Just happy to be here with Mark through all the stuff we've been through. I wasn't necessarily a great influence on Neil, and I could feel a little responsible for some of the direction that he went in. But there was some direction there that I think I also helped him with. I actually moved up to Wisconsin my last quarter of junior year, and Neil always kept in touch and always supported me and encouraged me to go forward with my new friends and the like. And I played a football game from Wisconsin near Illinois, and Mark and Dave Keller and Neil came up out to watch me in the game. It was just, and Neil was the spearhead of it all, and his golden blue eyes would be there to support us. And then I went on to go to Arizona State, and by junior year, Sav and Neil kind of kept poking at me, hey, what's going on out there? So finally they moved up and went to school with me junior year. I continued to go to Arizona State. They did some junior colleges. Neil played some baseball. So I had a great time with them. And in college as well, we had a good year at Arizona State. Again, I probably wasn't a great influence on Neil, which always comes back to But we certainly, yeah, we might want to, but we certainly had a wonderful life together. Neil was always there to support and love all of us, and a great positive influence. And he stood up in my wedding as a groomsman, and he was so good to me. I mean, made sure that I didn't drink too much, and we got to the gym and worked out. Make sure I got a good massage, not the kind of massage you're thinking of. It was a good massage. But so then we're getting ready for the ceremony, and I had the tux on, and he goes, here, Tim, put your shoes on, just slide them on. So I slid them on. He tied my shoes. We go through the ceremony, and it's a Catholic ceremony, and we get up to kneel in front of everybody, and I'm in front with my wife next to me to be. And as I kneel down, he had painted it with a whiteout thing, help me on the bottom of my shoe. That was good. Support, love, and great humor. And then he went on to be so successful in life with medical sales, and he did fantastic. And I kind of, failed around a little bit, did some advertising, and then I wanted to get back into the real world and work. And he set me up in the medical salespeople. And I met a lot of the people that he worked. They flew me to Oregon, and I met some of the guys that worked with Neil, and they had nothing but great things, how successful Neil was. And that was pretty amazing. But I didn't actually take that job. I ended up going to Hollywood and doing some other weird stuff, but survived and continued to do so. But Neil did give me a good shot at it, and they went on and had a beautiful daughter, Tiana, and he couldn't stop always talking and loving about Tiana. She came to my house one time with Neil and got to meet the whole family, and he was just always sparkling in his eye. I loved his daughter so much. And I think that later in life also Neil found God and got grounded. Certainly had some interesting moments where maybe it didn't go so great, but all in all, Neil was always just a good friend to me and to all of us, and I think we miss him. And I don't really have any major stories other than the fact that he's a brother of mine, and I love him and I miss him. Always going to be in my heart. And if we could all just say a little prayer for him, which I would normally do, but I think there's someone more versed at praying than me, and that would be John. John, come on back up and take the mic and say a little prayer for all of us who deal with it.
Yeah, thanks God for this gathering, and thank you for our brother and friend Neil, and the influence that he was able to have on us, and just the friendship and the love that he blessed us with, and we remember him, and we honor him tonight, as well as some of our other fallen brothers and sisters. So, thanks for this time.
Amen. Thank you, John.
You don't have to stand. Say that.
So, I didn't really know Neil until later. I met him through you, Tim, pretty much. But the summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college, I was a camp counselor with Neil and Bill Savage at Kelly's.
Oh, boy.
So, Mark too. So need I say more than that? It was probably one of the best summers of my life. It was a blast. We got super tan, and we just hung out and kind of like tried to wrangle each other's kids, sort of, because we all had our little group of kids, which was completely irresponsible of Kelly's. We had no experience whatsoever. I was in charge at the pool. I had no qualification to be in charge of the pool. you guys were in charge of baseball, so I would bring my little girls, you rotate. And it was just fun. It was just a really, really fun summer. I made $800 whole dollars for a really good tan, which I used the base for Florida. I fell out of touch with Neil, but then flash forward like 10 years, much like you, I was talking to Tim, and he's like, hey, you should get in touch with Neil. And I'm like, yeah, cool. What's his number? So I called Neil, and we talked for a long time on the phone. And I'm like, well, hey, if you ever get out to Chicago, give me a call. He's like, well, I can get out there next weekend. I'm like, okay. All right. Seriously? He's like, yeah, if you'll put me up, I go, okay. And I'm like, shit. So he came out and he stayed with me for the weekend, and we had the best weekend. I mean, we just totally reconnected. We laughed our asses off about that summer. He still had those beautiful blue eyes and teeth, like, wow. And we just had a great time. And I actually have some great pictures of that weekend, which I just didn't crawl under my couch to pull out. So, but I will send them to you. Anyway, so I thought Neil was a lovely, lovely human being, and I have great memories of him, and he's just such a loss to this universe. So.
Thank you so much.
Anyone? Hey, Bob, did you say something? Did you want to say something?
No, right now.
Okay. Mitch, you got it?
Mitch.
That's Mitch.
I'm probably a little bit more unique to talk about Neil, because Neil was literally legitimately my very first friend in Buffalo Grove. We moved on the exact same day. We actually met Mark and Jimmy, and that was about a year later or so, but legitimately, we hit it off right immediately. Played baseball with him, basketball with him, traveled baseball. He was a great kid. His family was terrific. But the one common theme that you'll probably know about Neil, it's girls. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So I was one of the few who had bar mitzvahs back in the day. And Neil,
We had no idea.
what can I tell you? John's still working on me, but it ain't gonna work yet. So.
I am not working.
You're not working on me, okay?
No.
So Neil asked me, what's a bar mitzvah? And I kind of explained it's kind of a party. Is there going to be girls there? Again, the girls there. He said, well, what do you do? You mingle with the girls and you dance a little bit. And Neil said, what kind of dancing? I'm like, well, I get the first dance because I'm the bar mitzvah boy, but, you want the second dance? He goes, yeah, I want the second dance. And he said, well, how do I go about doing that? And I said, well, they have this thing called, I think it's a snowball. Is that right? Is it still like a snowball where they say snowball and you switch partners?
Oh.
So literally within 5 minutes, Neil had a numbered list of the girls he wanted to dance with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes, after you dance, I want to dance with Stacy and then Roberta.
Oh my God.
So that was Neil. I mean, he literally, he befriended everybody. He was a terrific, terrific guy. We had so many great memories. I'm sorry I kind of lost touch with him the last few years, but like I said, he was terrific. My mom actually knew him very, very well. She told me to say a few words on her behalf tonight. So, Neil, you were great. You were special, all of us. And again, you were a true, true friend to all of us. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah, I think every family that knew Neil, it's like my whole family. I come from 5 kids, my mom and dad, and everybody knows Neil.
He was over for dinner probably 2 nights a week. I was at his house for 2 nights a week. We had Jimmy's and Mark's and
Oh my
Sam's.
gosh, and he did so well with parents. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, my mom loved him.
Parents loved him. My mom loved that guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just got a message from Neil. We beat Dan Wright at least one I think 2 times.
I think it was at least 4 times we had. We had to beat him at least.
Neil's confused.
Neil knew what he's talking about. Anybody? Any jokes? No? All right. Who said about massage earlier?
That was Koenig said something about it.
Caning.
Or no, Neil said something about it. And
I tried to sound.
Tim
I tried to.
You did.
You
He
should
did,
massage.
You gotta get a massage. You gotta look like, I've never had one.
All right. I tried to sound T earlier. He gave me the approval.
I've had a few.
Neil give you the massage.
Neil.
No, it wasn't Neil.
You love to sing it.
So this guy is getting a massage with a male masseuse, and he
This
leans
is
over.
being
and
recorded, Mitch. Okay, you know.
It's all right.
I'm just saying.
It's not that.
So they'll put a little flag saying
Well, it's
warning.
not bad. You're about warning.
The guy's getting a massage from a male masseuse, and leans over and says, excuse me, I have a question for you. Is it common to get an erection during a massage? And the male masseuse says, well, yeah, it is pretty common. He goes, would you mind not waving it in my face then?
Say a little prayer for me.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have a story, but
No, whatever you want, Allison.
I don't have a specific story, but
I
I was one of the girls he dated. So were you?
Both of them.
You do? I don't remember.
Oh, I mean, honesty is always.
Anyway, I stayed in touch with Neil, and I talked to him the day before he passed. And I know the last 10 years, he struggled so much. And he talked about a lot of you guys, and you in particular quite a bit, for really trying to find a place for him where he could get better, where he could get help. And I think we all know the disease he had was just too much for him to deal with. And I know Neil's in a much better place right now. I know he's happy. I know he's here probably with us laughing. But there couldn't have been a better friend. And we all know that. Yes, and those eyes. And his laugh. His laugh was the best. So anyway, I miss you, Neil. I love you. And stay happy. Stay well.
Thanks, Allison.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim, you said everything really right and right on. What a great guy. He was such a part of our growing up in high school. You know, we were friends and around him a lot, and miss that guy a lot. He really was special. And I remember we took a trip, Bill Savage, I, and Neil, between our junior and senior year. Bill's Blue Galaxy 500. We drove out to New Jersey.
Oh, no.
Went to New Jersey, and we were painting Bill Savage's aunt's house. So can you imagine the three of us, and that embargo was going on then, where you couldn't get gas. With Iran, it was crazy. But I tell you, we laughed, we loved, and we fought on that weekend, and it was really unbelievable. And we spent the weekend in New York City, in Queens. Bill had an aunt there. So we were just, running around Queens, young kids. We were bulletproof, we would do anything. But what a kind guy, and enjoyed his presence and his life, and he was a friend to everyone he met, he touched, and I know for sure that he's in heaven, and he's with us right today, and all day, and he'll be with us the rest of our lives. He's looking out for us. I want to say a prayer, Hail Mary to Neil. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Love you, Neil.
Thanks, Mark. One thing I didn't know, after I left in last quarter junior year, Neil got he got big, buff, and next thing I was seeing these pictures in the local trades about him pitching, that he turned into being quite a pitcher. And I was wondering if Dorhofer had any good pitching stories for us with Neil.
Not that I can share in public. No, but I do have one thing, and no, we're good. My voice carries enough.
It's okay. Okay.
It's not so much about Neil, because I don't have any particular stories about Neil, but it pertains to Neil, it pertains to the friends we've lost, the family members we've lost. Look around the room, treasure each other, because the next buck open.
Bear buck.
Bear buck open. God allowing us, we'll all be back, but we've lost a lot of names off the trophies in the years. So treasure your moments with each other, treasure your moments with your friends, with your families. I've lost my entire family. I've lost mom, dad, brother, sister, and sister.
Your family's right here. We're all your family.
You're one of them, yes. I also have a daughter and youngest son would like to be included in that, but,
Yeah.
wife not so much at times, but that's okay. That's a different story.
You're on YouTube.
She's not
That's
getting
okay.
it.
Trust me, she knows.
She's not getting the link.
It's on tape.
No, seriously, so just
We have
treasure each other because we're all together for a short period of time and enjoy it while we're here.
Amen.
Thanks, Dave.
Well said.
Thanks,
Good
Dave.
job.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay, I'm gonna pile on with what Dave said.
All right, Mike?
No, I don't want to. So hi,
Hi.
I'm Scott, and I'm an alcoholic. So, not to be heavy, not to be dramatic, but I have a great story to share about Neil. Dave brought up, we have lost family members. My last really good memory was I was playing golf with Katie Gorey as my partner, and guess who the other two people were? Dave Stober and Neil Reeder. So, that was a God shot. I like to kind of refer to life in terms of God shots. I've lost many friends to addiction. Neil happens to be one of them. The first thing they will tell you in AA is that unless a person is willing to get better, they won't. So you can try and reach out to people and make them get whole, but until they are ready to do that, you won't. You just can't, or you just won't, right? Everyone tried to help Neil. Everybody loves Neil. We all love Neil to death. But I have to share this personal story about Neil and myself. So, not lying, I'm an alcoholic, right? You guys know I don't drink. That's like not a really huge surprise. But it was think about our 10th year reunion that I had first gotten sober for about 3 months. And we were at Schmidtke's house or Haven's house. I can't remember where this party was.
Probably both.
And everybody was, yeah, probably both. But it was pretty well attended. And Neil comes up to me and he goes, "Brian, how you doing?" And I go, "Not good," right? Like I'm 2 or 3 months trying to figure out what the hell is going on with this. And Neil takes me outside and he and I sit and talk for like an hour, John. Very similar to this, right? And he says to me, he goes, "Brad, it's not a big deal. You just need to want to get better." And he goes, "And it takes a change of lifestyle. It's not, you can't just stop drinking. You need a change in lifestyle." And he goes, "I want you to picture a baby that you're holding, and I want you to think about putting a moral code on this little life to get them through life. And how would you like them to do that?" It wasn't doing bong hits in Kenny's basement. I say that in jest because all we did, our whole class is party animals. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't with us. Neil's one of them. By the grace of God, I'm sitting here, and my story is, Neil helped me through that. I have no idea how that would have transpired that evening, that point in my life, had Neil not sat me down, and he and I talked about this disease. And so God bless that young man. He fought it like hell. He gave it a good fight. He succumbed to it. And as a really good friend of mine once told me, and they'll also tell you this in Anonymous, people have to pass so that others can live. There is no truer statement than that if you are stuck in this cycle of addiction. I went to inpatient rehab. They tell a story about, you hear Alcoholics Anonymous. It's not alcoholics, it's addictions. It doesn't matter if it's crack, if it's coke, if it's booze, if it's weed. An addiction is an addiction. And the more people think through that, the more you can help others. And God bless you, Dave. You said exactly the message I wanted to say. There's lots of people that have trouble. Don't go tell them to stop drinking. You need to get your shit together, stop drinking. Don't do that. Be a friend of them, try and help them, and do what Neil did for me, which is just sit and talk to them and help guide them to figure this out on their own. You will never tell somebody to stop drinking. It'll never work. I guarantee it. However, you can be friends to them. You can be friends to each other. We are damn lucky to be here. We're all 62, except for Taylor. God knows how old he is.
Scotty.
That's good.
It's not to go in the room and cry.
I know.
Incredible, heart-spoken.
I'm kind of the old guy in this group, and I remember when you guys were, believe it or not, I remember a shitload of kids before, when the school became 10,865. And I'm glad I'm not there, but all the classes that you guys were in, and I had some of you in class, I had some of you not in class, but I knew everyone. So you knew something a little bit about everybody. You knew, Schmickey's doing this today, Kelly's doing this. Schmickey gonna bitch at the umpire, and put his hat on in the outfield and complain. But Neil, just like you ladies say, he was just knockout. You can see him picking around at the women all over the place. I don't see how he had one girlfriend because he could have had about 6,000. Between him and Kelly. And then there's guys like Forball.
Yep.
Money buys a lot of things.
Didn't you mean Keller?
Dave Keller, yeah.
I said Kelly.
Thank you.
I didn't say her. So anyway, I knew Neil through athletics, and when he got on the mound, or when he played balls to the wall. There was no half-assed. He was a competitor. And when he went to college, I kept in touch a little bit, but that golf outing where he was playing with, Brack was playing with Katie, and he was there, I touched base with him again. And I talked to him back and forth periodically, and you could tell when he was here and when he was down there. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't ever get a hold of him, but he's a loss. I remember him as a competitor. I remember I had to drag him off the mound or drag him off the infield because that's how he competed. That's how he played. That's how he lived life to its fullest. He got off track, and that happens. And Brackett explained it. That's what you have to do. So, what is it? You guys are, what are you, 51, 48?
47. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez, that's not bad.
Plus or minus 10.
45.
You're only, oh, jeez.
Yeah, I
I didn't even want to say it. But keep young at heart and keep this group of things going. I got another one next weekend from one of our kids who died of, baseball players who died of cancer. And it's class of 80. Greg Ward, who you guys would know.
Sure, yeah, we know Greg, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Greg.
I stopped over his house many times.
Yeah, him and Wolf. He died of cancer
Really?
and didn't do it fast enough. He died slowly. So, but that's the kind of stuff that, when you're an educator, I always thought, and my dad told me, that the best educators are the ones that get out and know the kids. After the kids comes the janitors, but
Oscar.
Oscar.
I miss him too. But anyway, that's all I have to say. That's how I remember Neil. That's how I'll always remember Neil. And I'll always remember you guys too, because you can't believe I still remember who the hell you are.
I can't.
6,000.
You know who yourself is, right?
Some days I don't.
Right.
I can't remember. I go upstairs and I get up there and I go, what am I doing up here? It's like peeing my pants. It's that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, I'm glad that you guys did this. It's too bad some people couldn't come. And thanks to Dave for giving us this room. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby, you still remember all our brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
all of them.
You're the best.
Yeah, I got
Plug
to
the
do,
Stevenson store.
no, I got, plug for Stevenson. No, I got to know Neil, sophomore year of baseball. Bob Taylor was the coach. That time I remember he was very, very competitive. He had a really big passion for baseball. He had a big passion for baseball his whole life. My son played baseball. I played baseball at Stevenson 4 years. And then I talked to Neil about picking a college and doing baseball, and he helped my son out picking a college and playing some baseball. So he coached a lot of kids too, even way past his prime, after college. So he really had that passion. He really wanted to share with everybody. He taught a lot of people about baseball, and he touched my life in that way, and my son's life too.
Good job. Al forgot to mention the Stevenson store now. Now selling Stevenson merch at Stevenson High School. Unbelievable. There is a store.
There's a store.
The whole
It's
store.
amazing.
Let's see it.
Have you not been there in years?
No.
It's ridiculous.
You won't even know it.
Oh, God.
It's the University of Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good, that's a perfect name.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I gotta go.
And the new field house?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They've got their own.
It's like a college.
Small
College,
good food, bar.
They got sushi bar.
They have sushi bars.
Yeah.
Three coffee kiosks
Yeah.
throughout the
Right.
complex. It's nuts.
It's
Oscar still alive?
No.
What?
No.
Oscar's passed?
No, I asked.
So Tim and I go on a tour of this place yesterday or day before, whatever it was, and Tim goes, "Hey, is Oscar here?" And before we walk around, hey, is Oscar around?
Where's Oscar? He caught me and Keller
He
second
had
in
his
gas
eye
at
on
parking
us.
lot.
He
Keller
put his eye
sucked
on
it.
us too.
Yeah, Oscar.
Oscar,
Yeah, he did.
he'd leave notes on
Oh,
my car and Jamie's car.
What?
I know what you two are up to.
He never, ever turned someone in unless, he was a
No.
guy that did Saturday school. And Saturday school consisted of, you had a rake in your hand, a broom, a mop, spray bottles, and things like that, because you were gonna clean up the building. Or go out and rake the baseball field so they
Yeah.
could play. He got in trouble for that because he was accused of being a slave labor type thing.
Oh, brother. Well,
So now they go sit in Saturday school, I guess, and just sit for 2 hours.
Oh, healthy.
Stevenson High School 79, the Breakfast Club. Seriously.
Yeah. And the greasy cookies.
oh, I love those greasy cookies. Those were good.
Those were the
Like they
best.
Tim, you don't make them
Oh.
anymore.
No,
not in the
They're
wax.
still pretty good though, the ones they have are pretty
They
good.
weren't in the wax papers, they were in the clear.
Gooey,
No,
so
they had the
good.
and they did give us what?
Actually helped me out with this bento.
They were great.
Oh, they were
They were
great.
good.
I created a certain sushi bar.
Oh, I see, now I see.
Learning resources.
No cash, federal.
Kids
are all great.
I'll reach you all out and take you around, what I know of it.
The field house is worth going to see.
It's unbelievable.
The field house, there's a weight room, there's an aerobics floor, and the kid, it's open to kids.
There was a weight room back when we were there.
Well, yeah.
I would not like
Yeah,
that.
but it's not like that. It
It's probably not the
rivals
same
any
thing.
D3 kind of
You
college in
see,
the country.
yeah,
Wow.
it's unbelievable.
You
Kids
know what
can go at
the-
it 7 days a
You
week.
know what the irony of that is? Athletes can't go in there during the season.
Who can't?
Athletes.
Why?
You can't take your football team in there.
No, they have their own, they have their own weight room.
The blue crossing area over on the other side. But
Yeah, I know, right?
There's a ton of machines in that new place.
Oh God, the free weights are like unbelievable.
That's what out of season, Mark Caney,
Kids, anybody?
But not sports teams?
No.
No.
Not in season.
Not even season.
Out of season is okay?
In season, go to a different weight room.
Yeah.
Oh,
They have a different weight room for in season.
that's the one in the blue gym.
Ready?
The blue gym.
Hey,
All right,
everyone,
I think John's gonna give us a toast.
we just
you guys.
raise a glass to Neil. Thank you for his friendship, for honoring Neil tonight. Toast to him.
Long gone, but not forgotten.
Deal.
This is the story of Neil Reeder.
Thank you, guys.
Love you.
And he had that funky delivery too.
Right. That's a little bit of a
Little hitch.
little hitch.
He sure would like this, so Neil would like this.
Yeah.
He'd love to do this. Saying thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Omar? I think that's good.
Wasn't he born either like New York or Jersey too, if I remember right? Didn't he have it when he first came like an accent?
Omar, hold it.
Who, Neil?
Yeah, did he come from New York or Jersey for some reason?
I don't think so. No?
I think he did.
Really?
Yeah.
I met him first with
Anyone know?
his sister.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Well, I met him in 5th grade.
New York sounds
I think he
familiar?
did.
Wow.
sleep over a house. It's fun to sleep in his house.